Anna now. Anna is a Pinterest pro marketing expert here in Tampa Bay and also in Orlando as well. But talking about Pinterest, it's one of the a lot of times it's kind of overlooked. Is that right?
That's correct. And a lot of people don't realize how many changes have really taken place with Pinterest lately. They just recently even changed their look to where it's a much more finished, professional look
Right.
with a white space that really makes it look good.
Yeah. It's interesting to me when I look at, I post on Instagram because I like it because I can do, hit the box. Okay, it'll go to Twitter, it'll go to Facebook, it'll go to Tumblr, I think is the last one. But, it's interesting how these different companies will have different alignments and different synergistic, so you see Pinterest on certain things, but then other areas you won't. And then, maybe if you're looking at a sports commentator, it'll say, his Twitter handle at this person's name. Isn't it interesting how you see? I wonder what is that more of the corporate umbrella when it comes to these two companies?
I think so. And I think a lot of the companies out there just use what they first got used to, and they don't explore. You find that, and then on the other end of the tandem, you have people that chase the shiny balls, like now with Snapchat, and they think, oh, I need to learn that.
Right.
And I always suggest get to know 3 social medias and make your presence there.
Right.
And don't try to be everywhere because there's just no way you could do it all good, really well.
Right.
And of course, the key is to do your research and find out, is your market there? You got to know who your buyer persona is and know where they are, because if they're not on Pinterest, then why be there? If they're not on Instagram, then why be there? So, and that's what I find that a lot of people don't do is the research up front.
Exactly. Yeah, what is the market share of this particular brand or industry into these different types of platforms? So you talk about limiting it to 3. I think that's important to limit, the amount of time, effort, and energy that you're putting into something. Because a lot of times I think, especially these days, people get so spread out with being busy, but they think they're being effective. They're not being productive. They're being busy with a lot of busy work type stuff. But, I always relate it back. I think about, okay, how can I focus this in on sales? Marketing and innovation. How can I drive sales? That's the number one goal.
Mm-hmm. That is very, very true. And that's why at the beginning of the show, I emphasized the fact that 55% of the users of Pinterest are actually there to find something that they want to buy. They are there to shop. Whereas when you take a look at it with the other, on Facebook, only 12% of the people are there to shop.
Yep.
And on Instagram, only 12% of the people are there actually to shop. So, in a lot of times people aren't aware of these types of things, and they don't take a look at that. So they're just going with what maybe somebody told them.
Right.
And another thing about Pinterest is I find that, Pinterest is a whole different animal, so to speak, which is why I decided to specialize in just Pinterest, because it's a lot different. The strategy, everything about Pinterest is a lot different. And so, be careful out there, talking about consumer advocacy.
Yeah.
Be careful out there when someone that says they do all social media and, oh, yeah, I can do Pinterest for you.
Right.
Make sure they really know how to effectively utilize Pinterest to market your product.
Well, I like that. Obviously, I love being on the consumer advocate tip now. And if you just joined us, we're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show, the Consumer Quarterback Show as well. And we're talking with Anna Vanlandingham. She's a Pinterest pro. She's been at Pinterest for many, many years. And so let's stay on that point. What are some good questions to ask when you have, let's say I'm a business owner, I'm an entrepreneur, and I have this so-called marketing expert in front of me or on the phone. What would be a good pointed question to ask, Anna, in terms of what you just mentioned?
Well, the first thing that I would ask is, how do you choose the names of your boards? Because that's kind of a key factor.
Right.
Somebody that really studies and knows how to do that sort of thing. How do you find the keywords for Pinterest? Because the keywords for Pinterest are a little bit different from the keywords for Google. And then another very important thing is, how do you utilize the analytics on Pinterest? Because a lot of people that do just a broad-based social media, they don't really understand the analytics and how to utilize those.
Right.
And that's an area that really helps you with taking a look and seeing if you're reaching the local market.
Yep.
Because one of the criticisms of Pinterest, especially, or any other social media for that matter, especially for the small business owner, is how do I get the local market?
Right.
Because they're like that. Those are more, the broad-based national, international. And so if you look at your analytics, you can see, am I reaching the local market? And then you can do promoted pins to help you to specifically reach that local market.
That's a great idea. I love that. But, the promoted posts, the promoted pins, those are ways that you can really target in on a demographic. You can go in there and you can say, okay, 100 grand per household income. I mean, you can really specify. And one of the things also I think it's important to mention about Anna is background was in education, right? Teaching.
Right. I taught economics.
Yeah. So as a business owner, who better to bring into your company or to have at least a one-on-one with in a consultation, I would believe. I'm not sure if she's charging for consultations, but I know she does webinars and she does different events. But Anna is the real deal when it comes to Pinterest, helping you as a business owner define your avatar and then put together a strategy to convert.
Yeah, and one other thing in talking about interviewing someone to do your Pinterest for you, if you go to my website, I have a blog specifically on there, and I have a checklist there for you of these are questions that you should ask to, help people with knowing how to interview someone and what are the kinds of questions to ask on that.
Perfect. And what's the website?
www.pinterestpro.com.
Pinterestpro.com. And we've got links again on all of our partners as well on our website at realestateradio.tampa.com for the Real Estate Quarterback Show, and also for the Consumer Quarterback Show, it's consumerqb.com. So we're coming into our next break here. We're also going to talk with Danny Triplett, estate sales expert, full house liquidation here in Tampa Bay. And we got a story as well we want to talk about is Duke Energy is warning Tampa Bay customers about the latest scam. A lot of scams out there. We want to protect you. We want to help you live a better life. And thinking later, deeper, kind of give